So my awareness of the spirit started to become very like knowledgeable. I started to become very like heavenly minded. Like my wisdom was on like a whole nother level, and I kept to myself for 3 years. I kept the weight of the word of God in my heart, and I didn't share with anybody like he told me to, and he told me to keep it to myself and for a particular time. But then when it came to New Year's, I believe it was in 2019, I started to see more and more visions. I started to have encounters with the Lord, and I started to have like he would come and visit me. I would see I would feel angels in the room, like covered, like I would feel their wings like touching my body. They were actually tickled because they would come around, and I could feel the wings on my body, and I would just feel like the Lord all around me, and I would see him. Like I would be reading the Bible, and he would just appear to me, like he would just show up, and I would see him, and I saw like his feet, and I saw his hands, and just seeing his feet, I was already a believer. And I was like, this is what happens every time I open up the Bible. He shows up, and I was just like opening up the Bible even more. He would just show up, and in that period of time, my visions, just my sight in the spirit, just started to open up, and I started to have more and more knowledge of what is going on in the spirit, and not only was I seeing heavenly things, but I was seeing also things that were there in the demonic. So I can see in the spirit like both good and evil, and I was starting to see more what's behind the curtain of the veil. So and then so one in particular night, I was like I said in the previous thing, I had issues with my heart, and one day I was like literally I was having a hard time. I was really having a hard time in the years that I was with my second boyfriend, and he was my fiance at the time. I had like my health started to decline like rapidly, like very rapidly, and one day my heart it was almost like giving up on me, and I was sitting there folding the laundry, and I'm trying to push through what I have to do because I have 2 children, and I have to push through what I was physically feeling. And so I was folding the laundry, and I just started to worship at the time. And then this was the same day that I actually felt the wings like around me, just clothing me, wrapping around me. And I was singing a song that the Lord had given to me personally, and this song was called Glory and the Fire. And he told me, close the door and get in my presence. So I closed the door. I was obedient. I had my children on the other hand, they were safe on the other side. And so I ended up getting on the bed. I closed the door, and I get on the bed. I had the worship music playing in the background, and his presence came in quickly, and I could feel his presence so strong in the room, and it was just me. And then I saw angels. I saw visions of angels just walking around in my room, and I could literally see these angels just walking around. Some were carrying books, some were just walking, some all of them had different tasks to do, but I was just watching them walking by, and I was seeing the throne, and I saw the throne of Jesus, and I saw him straight ahead of me, and he was kind of like at a distance. And I saw myself, I was in the physical, I was kneeling down on my bed. I was face to face on the bed, and I was just sitting there. His presence was so heavy. I just was crying. I was weeping, and I was right in front of him, and I was crying, and I saw him, and then I just started to cry, and I started to cry out to him, and then I could feel my heart becoming like worse, like even as I was there. And then I noticed he wasn't there anymore. I was like, where the heck did he go? And I was just thinking, I was just like, why did he leave? Why did he leave at the most critical times that I needed him? I'm like, I'm over here crying out to him, and yet he's not on his throne. I was like thinking to myself, like, he had to stay on his throne, right? And so I was thinking, like, where is he? Well, I was like, where is he at? I was looking for him, and then I saw him. He appeared right next to me with a red blanket, and he put it on my back. And as soon as he did that, his presence came into the room even heavier. And then I smelled this smell, and then I could taste what I was smelling. I could taste it also, and it was just the sweetest smell. And I was asking, why does that smell? Oh my God, it tasted so sweet. And he said, that is the taste of my presence. That is the smell of my presence. And then he showed me that the smell and the aroma of his presence, and it is a sweet smell. It is not, and then when I tasted it tasted almost like fruity. And then the Lord was showing me that it was not there's not a taste like this anywhere on the earth. You cannot find this taste anywhere on the earth, not even in fruits, not even in the best of things. And then I was saying, all I was saying, Lord, I don't ever want to leave your presence. I don't ever want to leave your presence. I don't ever want to leave your presence. I just kept on saying is crying, and then the pain started to leave. The whatever I was feeling, it just left. And then I wasn't even thinking about the heart. I wasn't even feeling anything. All I felt was his presence. I was being saturated in his presence. And this is how I would heal myself. I would come to the Lord and I would heal myself. He would come to me and I would just heal myself. So there was one.